Welcome to my mini series, Christmas with Arubakes, where I'm going to make some Christmas favorites. These are a mix of classic Christmas recipes and also easy ones to really elevate your hosting game this season. We're starting off with the classic gingerbread cookie. Back in the day, these gingerbread cookies were an absolute hit at the Sugar Shack. We used to have a massive Christmas bake sale every year where we would make and decorate hundreds of these. And I know that a lot of you guys are missing it, so let me show you how to make these at home. Start off by creaming together butter, brown sugar, and egg with a pinch of salt. Use a paddle attachment on a medium speed. Make sure your butter and eggs are at room temperature because that is the key to getting that batter nice and fluffy. Beat this for a few minutes until it's pale and fluffy. Scrape the bowl down a couple of times to ensure that there are no lumps of butter or sugar left at the bottom of the bowl. Once the batter is nice and fluffy, start to trickle in the molasses, slowly while beating on medium. Your batter will start looking thick and glossy. Now you can easily use some treacle or golden syrup instead of molasses. If you're doing this, a little pro tip is to just add in a couple of drops of brown food coloring just to get that deep brown color. Generally, you mix the baking powder and spices into the flour, but I actually like to add it into the wet ingredients. Start off by adding 1 teaspoon of the ginger along with the cinnamon, nutmeg and clove, and then add in a bit more ginger if you feel like you need a bit more of a ginger hit. Give this a quick mix on a medium speed just until the spices are incorporated into the batter. And of course, stir with a spatula. And finally, add in the vanilla and baking powder and mix it for about 30 seconds more. Always remember to scrape down the bowl with a rubber spatula every now and then to ensure that everything is evenly mixed through. In a lot of stand mixers, I have noticed that the batter at the bottom doesn't get mixed in as well as you would like, and the last thing you want is to find lumps of unmixed ingredients right at the end. Sift in the flour. Now I did a really bad job of sifting this in. Maybe sift it separately and then add it to avoid making a mess like I did. When adding the flour, you have to work quickly. Add in half the flour, give it a quick mix, and then add in the other half. Don't overmix it. If you overwork the dough, once the flour has been added in, then your cookie will end up being a little bit tough. In fact, stop beating the batter just before all the flour has been incorporated. And then finish this off by hand. It should be a thick, sticky batter like this. This needs to be chilled before you can roll it out and cut the cookies. Spoon about a third of the batter onto some cling film. Wrap it up and flatten it out into a disc. Repeat this with the rest of the batter and then pop everything into the freezer. Now I like to let this sit in the freezer overnight. It helps the gluten relax and it makes it easy to roll this out. Plus, it makes for a better cookie. Just take it out of the freezer about 10 minutes before you start to roll so that it can soften just a little bit. The best way to roll the dough out is either between 2 sheets of parchment paper or some cling film. Make sure to flour both sides of the dough while rolling to stop this from sticking. Just a tiny sprinkling of flour, just enough to stop the dough from sticking. Don't overflour it because that will also make your cookie just a little tough. Also remember to turn the dough over to ensure an even, smooth roll. So today I let the dough sit in the freezer for like an hour before rolling it out instead of overnight. Possibly that's why I was struggling a little bit to roll this out. Now while I roll this out, let me take a minute to remind you to please subscribe to my channel Arubakes. I'm doing a whole holiday series over the next few weeks with lots of exciting and easy recipes. So hit that subscribe button now so that you don't miss out. Once you get the dough rolled to about half a centimeter in thickness, peel the top layer of that cling film. Dunk your cookie cutter in a bit of flour and then cut out the gingerbread people. Keep them on a lined baking pan with a gap in between. Gather up any leftover cookie batter and form it into a ball and pop it back in the freezer to chill, and then you can use this again. Bake this at 160 Celsius for about 12 minutes. The middle of the cookie should be still soft to the touch. As the cookie cools down, it will harden up just a little bit. To ice this, we need to make a simple glaze. Mix together icing sugar with a squeeze of lemon and a few drops of warm water. Always add the water a few drops at a time until you get a thick but slightly runny consistency. If it's too thick, it will be difficult to pipe, and if it's too runny, the lines won't hold its shape. Take 3 piping bags and fill them, one with white, one with red, and one with green icing. Snip the edge off the piping bag so that you have a tiny opening, and then pipe the design onto the gingerbread people. I like to do a mix of bows and scarves for the people. The red and the green really gives this a pop of color, and the glaze gives your gingerbread cookies just a slight additional sweetness to cut through those spices. And that is the gingerbread cookie that was one of the most popular seasonal treats at the Sugar Shack back in the day. Head on over to my Instagram for lots of behind the scenes of my holiday food, travel, and events. Christmas is my favorite time of year, and when you bake these, your home will be smelling amazing with that sweet, spicy, freshly baked cookie smell. Give this a go. It will be such a fun activity to decorate this with your loved ones over the holidays. And if you ask me, the best way to eat these gingerbread cookies is by dunking these in a nice hot cup of tea. I hope you guys liked episode 1 of this mini series, and don't forget to subscribe to Arubakes to catch episode 2 of Christmas with Arubakes, where I will be making some homemade stuffing. Thanks for watching. Bye.